Welcome to the George FTTV YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss our round 3 review and our trades and how our team went and whatnot. Trades did not go well. We traded in Winhager and I know it was a bad trade and I was warned and I knew he had a shit clearance rate and I knew he was unproven, but the role was good and VFL numbers were good, but that don't mean much if you can't score in the AFL. So we're gonna trade him out. I can't watch anymore, and he got suspended, so I've had enough. So thank you for the 15k that he made, 16k. We'll deal with that. But yeah, we scored 1,983, season rank of 7,602. I don't even care about what the rank looks like as long as it hasn't blown out too hard and we've just like stuffed up too much in our team. Next week is best 22. We'll get a proper look at the rank then, and that'll be a better reflection of where we're at. So there's nothing, like if you're like 20k, I wouldn't stress. Like you're probably only 100 points away from me. I'm only guessing, but maybe 150. I don't know, but there's nothing at the moment. Yeah, best 18s have kept it pretty tight, and then next week we'll see where we're at. And wherever you are ranked, I think last year I was like ranked 40k. I still finished around 1k, and that was with Ben Keys and Hobbs rotating at F6 me last year. So you can make up a lot of ground. There's seasons longer, more trades. So and your best 18s are going away pretty shortly. So there's a lot of chance to make up some ground. So yeah. The team, we'll get into that. 40k in the bank, which is nice. What were our trades last week? We did, I guess this was the problem, and we're the only dickhead without MIDPRICER in the whole game. So how that happened, I don't know. We should have gone probably Ollie Wines to MIDPRICER, and although we were going backwards, we just have 6 mid premiums is not optimal with the amount of forward and mid rookies available. Like no Sharp, no Burgess, no Dempsey, no Karmas. Yeah, there's just a lot of rookies that we missed, and Ollie Wines should have been MIDPRICER, and probably like even Carroll might get dropped when Walsh is back. So I don't know if our cash gen's in good nick or not. We're carrying Zach Reed. Does Hall play when Stephen May comes back in probably this week, maybe another week? It is a short break for them, so hopefully May can rest those ribs up for another week. But yeah, we brought in, we traded Hayden Young. He scored 130, so that was good. We traded Nick Martin the week before. He scored 132 and 130 as well. So we split Young and Caulfield into Winhager, D'Ambrosio, and 100k, and we put that 100k on top of Sam Berry, who was dropped. Don't get me started on that. That's another blunder too. And we got Tom Power. So I think I'm happy with like D'Ambrosio. Was very low risk, 200k defender slot, made 67k, 13 break even. So he's gonna make decent money, and you can just field him. And Tom Power, I think, was, in my opinion, he was my #1 target last week, and he only scored the 92, but I think the role is good, the talent is there. There's a few times you watch him, kind of just floats in and out of the game, probably doesn't position himself the best at times, but he's still a young player, and he looks a really exciting prospect for North. And that's the thing with LDU as well. You got to remember, and this applies to Steele, so remember 2 years ago, Laird was, I think he ended up M1 or M2. I can't remember exactly. Might have been Oliver ahead, but yeah, Laird was basically average 130, but the M2 at the Crows was Sam Berry back then. He had no one taking points off him, and then last year, no one was taking points off LDU. When I did my preseason research on him, when LDU, I think he had like 10 or 12 games where they were uninterrupted because he had 4 injury incidents last year. So in his uninterrupted runs, he averaged nearly 130, but there was only one teammate in the midfield ton beside him for the whole year. In those 10 or 12 games. So no one took points off him. And this year, nobody can take points off Steele. Seb Ross is averaging 80. Winhager's in there's like 100 last week, 50 this week. Not much. So this is why I like the Steele pick. I think he can be top 8, top 10 with how he looks and all the points to himself. So yeah, the point is Powell and Wardlaw have stepped up. I think they're taking points from LDU. So I think LDU, I'm very happy with fading, and he's capable of much more. Did get a bit of attention from Hewitt, I think. But I'm very happy I don't have him, and he's not in my plans to get him at any point. Don't want to take durability risk either. So that's just an observation I made pre-season. But yeah, Powell I'm happy with. So like, how else are you supposed to fill out the forward line at this point? I don't have Luke Jackson, but yeah, for Butters and Jackson to have a bit of a regression game after going 180 the week before was fantastic for us. So look at the defender line. Dacos, to me, Dacos doesn't look 100%. Fourth quarter, I think he just said to himself, we need to win this game, and he looked like prime Dacos, but the first 3 quarters to me he didn't. Thought he was. Now, don't let anyone tell you that Dacos is a soft player. He's not. But when I was watching him, it looked like he was hesitant to go into the contest. He wasn't like that last year. This year he's been a bit like that, and I think it's because he's not 100%, because he had a limited preseason. That's just that's not a fact. That's just, I mean, limited preseason is true, but it's not a fact that he might be carrying something. I don't know, but it looks to me like he might be. But that last quarter, he turned it up a notch. So, yeah, and he was like, when there were kick-ins to be taken, he kind of turned his back to him and didn't even get involved in rebounding, which I thought was odd for him. But regardless, we're holding him, and we'll just cop the price drop. What was it, 160 break even, 178. And he has the buy. Maybe he has Finn Mag if they play Finn Mag this week. We'll cop it. It is what it is, and we're not trading him. But yeah, nice fade if you don't have him. Cheezel, excellent. Winhager, we spoke about. Just get out my team, honestly. We're going to get rid of him ASAP. I don't want to speak about it. It's a bad trade. I think the role is fine, but we picked speculative, and I don't think round 2 is the right week to go speculative. It's when you have so many good rookies that you don't have, and we knew Dempsey would kill us because we got him in other formats, and we've been straight fielding him because he's looked so good. He scored 100. Like, Dempsey scored 100 DT today, and because it was wet, like, he missed a few targets, like 50-50 targets, like get the handball out of the pack, spills to a Hawthorn player, kick long, goes over the contest head, spills to an opposition player, and then like a tap on, he tapped, just like spilled into a Hawthorn player. So that's another clanger. So in my opinion, he scored 86, very unlucky, should have been a ton, but we're actually going to get him this week, but we'll speak about that. But yeah, Windy, I mean, bad trade. I've played this game long enough to not take speculative 350k player, but at least the role was there, so I can see why I did it, but still probably not enough reason to get him. D'Ambrosio Williams, just keep making money. I don't care. Just they can sit on the field. We can loop Zach Williams if Hall plays. So this week Melbourne play first, so I'll probably I'm a bit worried if Hall doesn't play, but let's pretend he does. I'll go Howes E, Hall on field, and then we can loop Zach Williams, who plays at Adelaide Oval. Where does D'Ambrosio play? Adelaide Oval. Yeah. Anyway, watching D'Ambrosio today, I thought his role was all over the place. Probably deeper defense in the last quarter when Morrison took his wing spot, but look, he's got a good work rate. He's around the ball a little bit. Does sort of depend on getting fed the ball, but dropped a mark, so whatever. That's okay, but I mean, the defense is pretty bad, but the midfield is pretty deep, so that was the price we paid there. The midfield's great. Like, I can't really complain. Just no McKercher, and Ollie's hasn't been as good as we would have hoped, but Bont 110, that's fine. Carrying a bit of injury, resting forward. You just kind of keep playing him until he shakes it off. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have the bye. This is why Andrew Dillon and whoever else organised this round 0 is so dumb. Like, Bont would love a week off. Like, Libba would love a week off right now, and a few other teams have that, and they don't. Like, Bulldogs don't have that luxury, and along with 10 other teams. So it's quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever seen from an administration in the AFL. So They need to pull their heads in, and they're all about integrity. Well, this is not integrity. Giving 8 teams a bye a few weeks into the season to freshen up. It's so dumb. Can't believe how stupid it is. Sarong was solid, bit of a tension, so he did rotate on a wing a bit, but that's fine. I'm confident he'll be top 8. We get Tom Green back, which will be nice, but we looped Carroll and Clark. We lost 3 points. It's not that upsetting. Steele was very good. What's his break even? He's still pretty cheap, so I think he's a target if you want. Like, I'd be pretty happy with Steele keeper, judging what we've seen. And he has this. He hasn't scored well. I suppose that was last year when he was pretty cooked, but this is an easy. Like, this matchup doesn't get any easier. Richmond at Norwood Oval. And yeah, Norwood is just a tackle fest because it's so small, lots of stoppages, so that's perfect for Steele. Steele is getting quite a few uncontested marks, so that is kind of nice, but hopefully we see lots of tackles from him, and who's taking tackles off him? Like Seb Ross. So would I go Steele or Took? I'm a Steele man for sure. Took's got the soft tissue history too, so that's an easy decision for me, but that's just me. And Matty Crouch keeps getting it done. Was quiet in the fourth quarter and quiet in the first quarter, but can score quick. 62 break even. We saw Laird go at the CBAs a bit, back down to 50%, so that helps him. Ollie's a worry. Yeah. CBAs were 50%, and his what's it called? Tog dropped as well in the fourth quarter. They benched him for 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, and when Horn-Francis comes back, it's a bit of a worry, which might be this week, might be next week, and Drew's taken his CBAs. So yeah, Drew's full-blown breaking out, and it's probably going to hurt Rosie. I don't know if it'll hurt Butters, but I think it will definitely hurt a little bit on Rosie, I guess. Oh, maybe not. Rosie's DT score's still fine, but I don't know. There's more points to go around. Maybe it just takes a little bit off Butters and Rosie, but Butters still scoring fine. Roberts and Sanders are just guns, so that's all good. How much is he going to make? Roberts has already made 130k, I think 3 weeks, had 3 price rises. Was it 2? 2. He's going to make so much money, so we can just sit him at D6. Him and McKercher sit at D5, D6 for however long. Sanders, we need to get DPP. I think he's just over or thereabouts. Now, if Libba is out, because he was a bit sore, but hopefully he's fine, that might be bad for Sanders' DPP. So you just know Bevo will make sure he's more mid in round 6 just to screw us, but no, obviously wouldn't even care. Yeah, he's subbing off Libba. I think it makes sense if he was playing sore. Should you really be, you're playing West Coast. If you're knowing he's sore during the week, what was the point of playing him? Why would you risk that? He got sent in for scans apparently, so I don't know. That seems like a weird decision to play him, but that's fine. And then we'll get Flanders back, and then Carroll. Yep, he'll keep playing until Walsh comes back. And Clark was good. I was kind of worried this was a dead rook, but he played well today. Used it well, so hopefully he can keep making money. Negative 39 break even, so that 11's out of his system now, or 13 score. Gawn and Grundy. Well, I think Gawn we got a VC this week, although I would like to VC Heaney into Steele. And we don't have a loop unless we keep Windhager, which I'm not going to. So probably go VC Gawn, who doesn't have the best record against the Crows. Now let's have a look. Not great. So Rob's done okay on him the past few years. I'd probably just take a 120 to be honest. Jesus, he scored 200 on Brisbane last year. I guess we'll probably VC him because it's like has to come from one of these 3. And I'm not VCing Sheasel at a small ground. It's either Crouch or Gawn. I'll probably go Gawn. We captain Heaney. Oh man, Heaney's been so good. I think most, if not everyone, has him. If you don't, like, I mean, you're in trouble. I hate to break it to you, but he's still gettable at 590, so just end the pain and get him in. West Coast this week. TP good. James Jordan, I'm probably going to trade him. I'd like to hold 1 week against West Coast, but he scores 70, makes 11k. Like it. He scores 90, makes 20k. So roughly, like, nah, just he can go. He's expendable, and he's gone on his bye anyway. I guess you could say, like, who else is going to hold down the forward line? I mean, after his bye, fixture's not too bad. Gold Coast, Hawthorn, GWS kind of hard. Oh, it's actually probably not great, to be honest. Top 8, top 8, top 8, top 8. Maybe top 8. Terrible and not great Hawthorn. So I think we'll just ditch him. Like, haven't really liked what I've seen from him. Billings. Oh my god, I've had enough of this guy. So I was one of the advocates for Billings in the preseason. 85s in the past, blah blah blah, whatever. But this guy's, how does he keep missing open goals? Happened last week, strolling in 30 meters out, misses. This week, 5 meters out, kicks a banana on a slight angle, 5 meters out. He kicks it too low, so he gets touched on the line. I can't, like, it's so bad. If you gave me $1 billion and the ultimatum was, you know, here's 35 meters out, slight angle. If you kick the goal, $1 billion. If you miss, we shoot you in the head. The catch is Jack Billings has to take your kick. I would just say, give me the gun, bang. Don't waste everyone's time here. He's going to miss. He's no chance at kicking this goal. Save everyone time because he will miss. How do you miss from 30 meters out and 5 meters out? He get out my team, and he was subbed. So I feel bad because I told this guy get Billings, because who are we fielding in the forward line? I don't know. Like, you got Heaney, you got Powell, you got Flanders will come back, you got Jackson, and then what? You're gonna field Fife, who's, I don't know. Fife is Fife. He could be sub if he gets injured. He took 2 games for him to develop back soreness. Are you gonna hold Jordan past his bye? Like, Reed is dropping 50s. Like, Sexton, is his role secure? We're gonna field Cadman. Like, who the hell are you fielding here? So the idea was, Billings is 240k. We let him sit there. He'll make money, get to 400k, and we'll figure out the forwards while he just sits there. And he gets subbed again. And why did I think he was not a sub risk? I don't know. So yeah, 400k. We'll try 300k. So he's out. Harley Reid, 54. I mean, what's his break even? 22. So he's not ready to go yet, but been disappointing, and a nice fade if you didn't pick. If you look at his fixture, I mean, this is bad. Sydney at a big ground, Adelaide Oval. Like, for a player whose fitness isn't quite there yet, big ground can only mean bad things. So he's not touching my field next week. And then he's back at home, Richmond, Freo, a few games at home, no travel. Hopefully he's a bit fresh for those. So happy to hold him for those 2, and then we'll assess round 7. What is PFS? People's First Stadium. It must be their home ground. Caddy and Sexton on the bye. So people might have traded Sexton or want to. The way I see it with Sexton is, I think people want to trade him because it might help their structure, or he's got a bit of money on his head. This first game, 73, that's fine. Second game, 63. This was really poor weather, like really, really poor. Yeah, just a tackle fest, like Matty Rao weather, where he scored 150 or whatever. Like, I think Took went 130. It was just a sloppy game. Third game was Mars Stadium, very difficult, like very windy, that stadium. Just a difficult ground to play on, and played forward for a quarter, 47. So for me, I think he's still fieldable provided things go right. Like, Adelaide Hill's big ground, that might be okay for him. He's still got a negative break even. Now, does he hold his spot? I think so. -5 break even. So it was -18 last week, but the magic numbers all changed. So I think that's how it works. But I would like to hold. Happy to bench him if I feel the need, but we'll see. We'll do some trades and we'll see where we're at. But yeah, I think the players we brought in, Winhager and Billings, like we should have just brought in a rookie. Boost these players in, boost them out. We did the same shit last year. Boost Darcy Cameron and Finn Callahan in, injured straight away, boost them out. Alright, so first trade is going to be... Sorry, not the best mood because of Winhager, but there are bigger problems in life than SuperCoach. Just yeah, very annoying that I blew those trades, but yeah. We got Sam Darcy. I think he holds his spot at least next week. He needs to perform, otherwise Lob will threaten his spot. So the threat of Lob is always there. I think they just back him in though. He's just super talented, and I didn't see this game. It was Easter Sunday, so few hit outs, still getting a decent ruck split, so we'll do that trade. Now we've brought in mid-prices in Billings and Winhager, and it hasn't worked. So we're going to bring in another two. Should I be doing this? No. But we're going to get rid of James Jordan because he has to go next week. And if you look at the options next week, it's probably Sonsi or Conway. I don't know if Conway holds his spot. I did watch him today. Thought he was really good. Like you can see his tog's not super high, but you can see this, like they'd be excited about him as a prospect. Like his tap work looks pretty good. Was floating behind the play, taking a few intercepts. He looks really good. Is he ready yet? Not sure. I think they'd be silly to drop him, to be honest. I think they just should persist with him and give him as much games as possible. They really like him. So there's Conway and Sonsi. Now Sonsi scored 30. I didn't see the game, but I did see some highlights where he dropped a mark where he should have got a kick inside 50. So maybe marks that as a goal. He scores 50 instead of 34 or whatever. But here's the thing. I think the rookies we've missed... Obviously McKercher, so we're not going to get McKercher because one, he's too expensive at 270 in a mid slot, and yeah, we got Wines there, but we should have gone Wines down to McKercher last week. He plays at Norwood and GMHBA the next two games, smaller grounds. I don't like that matchup for North defenders, which is part of the reason why I was very happy to punt Fisher. So not going to get McKercher, although I think after that he start cooking again. But I guess well done if you went Mackay. He could actually be a top 6 forward, really. I mean, he's had easy matchups. He's had Richmond with no key defenders. They had 2 key defenders go down. He's got North, where he's playing on poor Toby Pink. So he's okay, Pink, but I mean, you're playing on an SNFL player last year, playing on Common Medal. I mean, Common Medalist, it's like, that's a rough matchup. So if we look at average, I mean, Zorko played well off halfback, did fade out the game a bit, but I can't go there for that price and at his age, just ready to get burned again by not picking him. But that's something we'll, I don't know, not right now, not now. We're going to grab Dempsey. So Dempsey is brilliant to watch, and he's 220k, but I think he's just like, his break even still negative 19. I think he's got 150k minimum in him. Like I think he gets to 400. Same before, I think he should have turned up today. He's one you can confidently field, bit of wing, bit of forward, gets up and down the ground really well, can create mismatches, so like is pretty tall, like good overhead, good at ground level, pretty clean, good field kick. He looks brilliant. He did 90 in the VFL, probably in this forward role. So for me, he's in, and it is what it is. Like I should have got him at 150k. He's technically a mid-pricer now, if you consider anything above Harley Reid's starting price a mid-pricer. But I mean, what are the options for trade-ins this week? Harvey Thomas, I'm skipping. I know he's got a very nice negative break even, but he'd scored like 50 DT total in the first 2 weeks, and then he played West Coast and tonned on them. Like, for me, he's a really young player, like talented, but I don't know. Like, he's very capable of dropping a 20 next week, so I'm not interested. Naismith's played too. I mean, we could go Buku. Does O'Donnell or Gardner come in and take his spot? Probably not at the moment, but yeah, good starting pick. I'll skip. Dean's dropped. Well, Jared Lyons is interesting, but his job security is not good enough, so I'm gonna pass. I think they like Brown. You could go him. Doesn't accumulate a lot, but is a good user. So one you could look at. Draper looked pretty good, but he plays on. I think he'll score crap this week against one of the Blues Coleman medalists. I'm not gonna go Mansell. Reef not gonna score enough. I like Burgess. I would have no issue going on Burgess or Karmas if you wanted them. Harvey Gallagher, I guess, destroyed West Coast, kicked 2 goals. He's had a few games where he scored 40. To be honest, I haven't really researched Gallagher enough. I mean, Sharp is a bad miss, but I thought round 1 he was set to be sub until O'Meara was a late out. But he's playing well, so I think I'd be fine going late on him. As you can see, a lot of the break evens are elevated guys. But for me, I think Dempsey's the best one. He's averaging 80. I wouldn't be surprised if he does 75 for the year. Just looks unbelievable. We're going to do that trade. Now, what do we do with this money now? Do we leave it? Do we boost? Well, we've got Winhager here, and he's suspended anyway, so let's have a look. Swap by average. Oh, we could go Luke Ryan. Do we just do that? We could. But I want to get Wines to merit, and I don't know how to do that next week. Then we're stuck with Wines when Francis comes back. We can consider it. It's very expensive, but then again, we want merit, so it's so slow. What are you doing, website? This website's cooked. Let's refresh. I can't even scroll. Struggling. Probably because people are on there doing their trades and stuff. But anyway, Winhager, the 2 that I'm considering is... Well, I don't want Nass. I think plays Norwood Oval. I don't like that this week. I don't think he's top 6 or top 8. But he looks really good. You could go Ryan. I mean... He'd be a good pod, only 10%. Whitfield's there. Whitfield's got a really nice run. He's got... Who does he have? Saints and Carlton who give up. They move the ball pretty quick, so it comes back into defense a lot. Jordan Clark's there. I mean, he's looked really good. Now, is this sustainable with low kick-ins? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does like 95 to 100 this year. McGovern's scoring well, but he's just too old and injury prone. Boston not going to go there. Short 85 has been a rough starting pick. I would just get out of that. Could go Stewart. What's his break even? I don't know. Like, Stewart was off for a bit today, but I don't think he's like... I feel like he's regressed slightly. Might be a hot take, but just watching him, just not getting involved as much. You got Holmes and Duncan back there too. I think Duncan was a bit winged today, but yeah, Holmes was all over the place as well. He was a bit inside mid. I think we can get Stewart a bit cheaper than that. Like, I feel like a lot of Stewart's points early, a few missed kicks fell in his lap, so I felt it was a bit of a lucky, but did go off for, I think, about 10 minutes with a concussion protocol. How is Heppel and McGrath scoring this well? Houston's... I see why Houston has floor games now. He just doesn't get enough ball with Farrell and Burton taking kick-ins. So, I mean, he's still averaging 110, so you're very happy if you've got him. But I think we can pick him off cheaper. Why are we searching total points? Look, we don't care about. I'm kind of thinking Bramble. So this gives us money to play with. We can get Grundy to Marshall next week, or we can just go Conway and keep Grundy gone. So that's an option, but this will give us a bit of money in the bank to get Wines. Do we prefer Merritt and Bramble, or just keep Wines and Ryan? So it'll either be Bramble or Luke Ryan. For now, we'll go Bramble. Now you might be thinking, George, you idiot, you just went 350k mid-pricer in, or 320k pricer in, what's it called? In Winhager. Why would you do this again? I think he can make 100k, and I think he's better points per dollar than Luke Ryan. You got 5 kick-ins today. You got 5 kick-ins in round 1, so maybe that continues. Last round he got 1. He scored 84. So if he had 5 kick-ins that game, would have tonned. So basically 3 tons in a row he would have got. So I like him. I think the points come a bit easier for Bramble than Winhager. Winhager, if he's up against a really good midfielder, like Merritt destroyed him this week. So whereas Bramble just not really. He's flanker, so it's going to score regardless. Could he be moved to lockdown role? I don't know. I'll have to check team sheets, but I do. It'll either be Bramble or Ryan. We'll make that decision during the week. So, yeah. I mean, halfback on kick-ins for 350k is okay, and it is best 18, which helps. More the guns and rookies are more superior in best 18s, but we're still getting I think Winhager's 54 counted, and I think Zach Williams, D'Ambrosio 68 counted. There's still a lot of crap floor scores, even in best 18s, and best 22s coming up from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's only 5 weeks actually, so I mean, still that's where you got to make up your ground. So we'll go that for now. Let me know what you think. And the other thing is, if we go Whitfield instead of Bramble, or Whitfield, Ryan, or Bramble, one of the 3. If we go Whitfield, then here's that buy, and we're quite heavy on that first buy with, I think, Sheasel. We keep Grundy, I don't know, Heaney, Power, Green. The Green, I can't remember. Sheasel, Green, Heaney, Power, Grundy. It's a lot, so yeah, we'll see how we go. But anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.